Hello. Thank you for listening to and watching You Had Options. This episode I have Matt Vincent on of HVIII Brand Goods. Real fun, insightful guy to talk to. I really enjoy talking to him. Check out HVIII Brand Goods. It's at HVIII Brand Goods on Instagram. Check out his podcast. It's great too. A lot of deep talk. It's not just, it's not just weightlifting and exercise. It goes so much farther. At UMSO _podcast. Check out his coffee company at Habit Coffee Co. Yeah, just a really fun guy to talk to. Really enjoyed it. Check out You Had Options on Instagram at You Had Options. You can check me out if you want to. Check me out. At Mikey X Money. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and I hope you enjoy. Begun. Thank you again.
Indeed.
So,
what are you drinking?
I got some proper 12 right now.
Oh, how is it?
It's good. I haven't had it before.
Is it a solid Irish whiskey or?
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty. It's smooth. I'm not.
Is it as nice as Jameson?
Oof. I don't know, man. The verdict is out for me. I don't know.
All right, then. Well, then that puts it in the right category of Irish whiskey that I'm looking for.
Yeah. It's if
I like drinking Jameson, so.
If it's not as good as Jameson, it is half a step below, like a hair.
Okay, so it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. So they're not trying to be some high-end.
I don't think so.
Clearly not.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't consider Jameson to be the highest end of Irish whiskeys if I was a betting man.
Well, are you a big whiskey guy?
I drank bourbon for a long time. I like bourbon. I'm not much of a whiskey guy. I tried to get into scotch and shit like that when I was in Scotland, and it just never
didn't hit.
I don't care for it. I don't like the peatiness.
So your HVIII Brand empire entrepreneurship yeah,
sure.
They have you thought about going into alcohol?
No
I
don't really drink.
Okay.
There'd be some other stuff I'd be interested. Like I'd like to get invested in the cannabis industry, or
Ooh.
I've kind of got my fingers in a little bit of CBD stuff with some guys, which I'm stoked on. Could be some cool stuff coming that way. We may do some like white label stuff with the flower that they grow with Habit.
Yeah.
Would be kind of fun. It's a better fit.
Yeah. So you're in St. Louis, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know where the legal. Is it legal there? What is the?
Less than.
Okay. I feel that, man. I'm in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh
so.
shit, man! So another Southern boy.
Mm-hmm.
How frozen is the South currently?
Mobile is not frozen. It's like 38 or something right now. But
it's like 20 here.
Man.
We got a bunch of snow earlier this week, but like there's still snow and shit out, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
I have hoodies and I have a four-wheel drive vehicle.
You're good.
I think I'll manage just fine.
Yeah. I have some Texas buddies, and they're having a rough go of it.
Yo, having no power sucks. I don't know what's like the longest you've had a power outage. Oh, you're in the South. You have hurricanes and shit. You understand what's going on.
I think the longest for me that was probably Katrina, and that was like a week maybe.
Yeah, I did 2 separate like week-long things. I remember the worst was we had an ice storm growing up in Louisiana, like across the Gulf Coast. I mean, I must have been in middle school. And that sucked. I think that was like 8 days.
Damn.
And it was cold.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't experienced power outage with cold. So I imagine that's got to be worse,
to me,
right?
it's got to be better.
Better?
Fuck yeah. I can always add clothes.
That's true. You're right.
Whereas, man, in the summer, if it's hot, it's awful. Like hurricanes in the summer and being trapped, it's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I am ready. All good.
Good to go?
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah. Yeah. So St. Louis, that's the South still, right? It's different than Louisiana. Obviously, that's a whole different monster, but do you feel like you're in the South?
I think St. Louis is definitely enough of the South. It's a really happy medium between Memphis and Chicago.
Okay.
So you can't have some Memphis and then pretend like you're not in the South.
Yeah.
Memphis is Southern shit, son.
It doesn't get more Southern. Yeah.
I mean, it does, but it's a different brand of Southern, like New Orleans or Mobile for another.
Have you?
Man, Mobile has a killer oyster bar.
Winsel's.
Winsel's. Yeah. Yep. Very much like that place. My brother and I would stop there on a regular basis when we were out that way for work.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you spent some time in Mobile?
A little bit, not enough to really say I've spent any time in Mobile, but I know where it is. I've been there. I know some places I like to eat.
Yeah. Jimmy Buffett, the leprechaun.
Is Jimmy Buffett from Mobile?
Yeah.
Wow, Jimmy Buffett's killing it.
Yeah, man.
The guy's still knocking down like 20 million a year or some shit.
He figured it out.
Hasn't written a new song. He's awesome.
Oh man, just got some songs about some sandals and beach, and now he's killing it. Yeah. So I think the first time I'd been following you for a little while on Instagram, and I think the first like long form thing I heard you do was the Kickin' Ass podcast with
Andy and Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys rule, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting Andy out here once I get dope a little bit more under wraps, say April-ish, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah. And your podcast, UMSO, which is a great name.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's I wonder like if I should have named everything along the same lines, right? Like should it have been something with HVIII Brand or I haven't done well with synergistic things across my platforms as far as naming goes, but whatever.
Well, I like the names, like the Habit Coffee. I enjoy.
Yeah. Have a coffee. I really like the branding on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you grow up Catholic?
So I grew up going to Catholic school. I grew up going from Catholic school, preschool through 6th grade.
Yeah.
And my mom taught at the Catholic school, but we were Methodist.
Okay.
So I grew up in the Methodist church, and I did like whatever the whole, I don't know, whatever their version of becoming whatever in the church is.
Right.
I don't remember. Was not my favorite process.
I gotcha.
I have since been no longer involved with church. I wouldn't say the church, but any.
We can. Yeah. This is an exclusive for my podcast. I'll say you've.
Yes. I've decided to wave bye to the King James Bible.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's valuable parts in it. I just don't believe it's a textbook.
Right. Yeah. I grew up similar. I went to Catholic school, but I grew up Catholic. And so just kind of went away from that as I got older and started reading more stuff, you know?
It kind of seems to go that way, right?
Yeah.
Recently I had a discussion with some friends and we were talking about, I guess, ended up on the Jesus myth, right? And of all the, I don't know, deity-esque characters that there are, prophets that we have in various religions or anything like that.
Right.
Buddha or Muhammad or anyone else. Everyone else is man and everyone else is a lot of goods and bads.
Right, for sure.
There's some flaws. Jesus doesn't seem to do anything weird. He's pretty much just a good dude.
Yeah.
And I think that makes that character interesting.
Okay.
Just because there isn't the other side of the coin. However, if the other side of that coin, since they all are wrapped in one thing, Old Testament God's a motherfucker.
Yeah, he was rough.
He kills a lot more people than Lucifer does in the first half of that book.
Yeah.
On a pretty regular basis.
Yeah, that's true. And
so,
yeah. In the name
of
that
devil showed up and educated women. Tough being him. Bad guys from what I see.
Oh shit. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more psychedelic references in the Bible than we probably give it much credit for.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, the fruit of knowledge. Yeah, I would say that is most likely some type of a psychedelic plant.
Being Jesus in the garden for 40 days, seeing,
some of that. I think Moses in the burning bush.
Yeah.
A tree that grows in that area of the world is the acacia plant, and it does produce a bunch of a DMT. And if you were to say if there was a field of it that caught on fire, from a storm or lightning or wildfire or any number of things, if you were trapped in smoke of that, possibly would be talking to God.
Pretty ripped. Yeah.
Yeah. DMT is a real interesting thing.
Yeah. I've not had the opportunity to do psychedelics, but I am interested.
They're a very interesting thing. I would say, keep educating yourself on it. And I'm willing to bet if your interest is there, it'll find you.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion, is that it seems to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But also Bonnie and I went down. We went down to Costa Rica last year for New Year's and did 4 nights of ayahuasca. That was that's a place you can go. So, I mean,
yeah,
anyone can just sign up and take a swim.
Can I ask you about your ayahuasca experience?
Yeah, man.
What
would you like to know?
Were you like puking and crying?
I didn't really cry much. I puked and purged a little bit, but not every night.
Yeah.
Some people do. I ended up only purging on night 3, and then I had a pretty decent experience after that. I didn't get a lot of visuals from ayahuasca, which I really expected more of.
Yeah.
All right. So you get visuals, but they're more internal.
Okay.
It's like your imagination's better, right?
Yeah.
Where mushrooms or DMT, earth changes.
Right.
Like your eyes are open and shit's doing stuff.
Yeah.
And like you just have to look at it and go, fascinating. But with Aya, it was some deeper stuff that came up. I sorted through some issues with the ending of my previous marriage that I really hadn't, I guess, addressed very well. And was glad to sort through that. I had a pretty good conversation with my knee and hip about how I'd been treating them.
Yeah.
And that I needed to change that and be a lot nicer.
Wow.
And I listened, man. And then the other one was, the end of my throwing career and competitive years. And then, the change in the relationship that I had with those guys and that kind of that tribe that I had for such a long time, including my brother and some other stuff. And it's different. I'm not competing anymore. Some of those guys aren't competing anymore. So we don't see each other. You don't stay in touch as much. Everyone's busy.
Right.
It's not a fault of anyone. It just is.
Yeah.
And, instead of having a bitterness about, fuck, I missed this thing. The perspective on it immediately shifted to this just ultimate gratitude of, I can't believe I got to do that for 10 years with all these rad people.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't supposed to be permanent.
Wow.
And so being bummed that it's over is silly. Like, it was going to come to an end anyway.
Right. Wow. Yeah. That's, I just turned 32. And I'm coming to terms with a lot of stuff, and figuring out that surrender is like a big thing. That is a big growth, process.
Yeah, man. The submitting that that's a big one too. That comes with the psychedelic stuff. Like, whenever you make that decision to go that route,
yeah,
there's a big sense of surrender. There is some handing the fucking keys over to wherever that medicine wants to go.
Yeah.
And be willing to do that work. You don't get to say stop. You don't get to say, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
Whatever it decides to bring up is what cards are dealt.
Man. Wow.
But
yeah.
It arrives with tools to work on it. It's going to be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But the backside of it's great.
Right. Yeah. Wow. We're getting deep. I love it.
They're an interesting medicine, man. You have a TCB tattoo on your arm?
I do.
Fucking A, I have one as well.
Hell yeah, man. Taking care of business.
Yeah, I've got one just about the same place underneath my right arm.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Me and a bunch of friends got shit-faced in Austin and got those years ago.
Yeah. I'm a big...
I don't know if we were that shit-faced, but we were shit-faced.
You wanted it, man. It was going to happen one way or the other.
I'm not blaming.
Right.
We were just having a good time. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It wasn't the booze that made a decision to get the bad tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, man, and ours are bad. It's like shot minimum, quickest sketch we could get, just hammer it in there.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that it's trashy.
Hey, man. Yeah, I've got some tattoos that I'm not ashamed of any of my tattoos, but there's tattoos that I'm like, I probably would have done it differently for sure.
Yeah, like I at this point now, like, because I've got access to some different artists, I wish I could redo my whole back. But I have no interest in sitting through having that all done again.
Fuck no.
I would pay 3 times the amount to not have to actually acquire the tattoo.
Right. Yeah.
I'm very over that process.
Yeah. I've got about a half sleeve left to do this year that to finish out my arm, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Man, arms are no big deal.
That's true.
Arms are all right.
Still.
You can. Oh, it still sucks. Like, I mean, I'm saying that, and I still have about a quarter of a sleeve left on my right arm to get finished, and
right.
I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I know what I want. Like, I know what goes there.
Yeah.
And that hasn't changed in some time. I just don't fucking want to. I don't want to fly to LA and go get tattooed and then have my arm hurt for 2 days and fly home.
Yeah. Have you, in your tattoo experiences, have you ever had like a bad healing process? Yeah. I roasted one. I got a big tattoo in my ditch. On my left arm. I was in my 20s. Yeah. And like the next day we went to Gulf Shores.
It's not the ideal place for your tattoo to
Hell
heal.
no, man.
I'm just swimming. Like, I'm swimming in the ocean. Like, I didn't give a fuck.
Oh, damn.
And it looked like it.
Yeah.
It's all falling out. Like, it looks terrible. Like, my skin was gross and, like, infected for a while. Not super cool. I don't recommend it.
Don't go to Gulf Shores after getting a tattoo.
Yeah, or just stay out of the water and the sand. Like, I remember, like, specifically just pouring beer on it to wash it and being like, that's probably fine.
Shit, dude.
I lived a hard life at one point.
I know. That's what it sounds like, man. That's quite the aftercare regiment, I would say.
Shit, man. Never claimed to be very smart. I figured out a lot of shit that doesn't work well.
I think that's another part of the growing process, and especially with the HVIII brand and everything that you have. It's a lot more. Would it be fair to say it's a lot more like fucking up and figuring out what doesn't work?
That's equally a part of it. There's some stuff that you definitely just get the vibe on and you know that it's good.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of just business stuff that's like, I think inaction is a way bigger problem than fucking up.
That's true. That's the worst.
So, yeah, I'd way rather like, yo, let's make moves and make mistakes, because then at least we're eliminating ideas that maybe could be.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still sharpening the blade at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. The worst decision is no decision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So was HVIII Brand your first, like, this is going to be my business, like, venture? Was that your first?
Nope. My first run at that would have been after college. I opened a bicycle shop with some buddies of mine, and that did not go so good.
Okay.
We had it for 5 or so years.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just didn't make enough money. It was managed poorly. Mostly a lot due to me. I fucked a bunch of that stuff up just being 22.
Right.
Just don't have enough experience or with, maturity to figure it out. HVIII Brand really wasn't supposed to be what I do for a living. It just kind of ended up being. I had a real job doing outside sales in the oil and gas industry, and things were going great. And then this kind of just kept going.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And so, eventually whenever they fired me, I decided not to look for any more work in that industry.
Hell yeah. Wow. Yeah. How long ago was that?
I got fired in March of 2017.
Oh, okay. Wow. Damn. Yeah. Wow. I'm just trying to think here. 27. So that's 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. I guess it is now.
Yeah. But it's going good. You from the outside looking in, it seems like you got it all, figured out. Obviously,
get better at it, right? Like, I mean, figured out relative,
right?
But yeah, I mean, we've got a pretty good rhythm now for most things, and I mean, once you kind of get one thing under control, you tend to try to figure out how to double down on another side of it, which may or may not fuck up the thing you thought you already had under control. So it's always a puzzle to be figured out. I enjoy that aspect of it. I really do like just the whole process of figuring out the whole business thing and managing it and dealing with creating new designs and coming up with stuff and figuring out colorways and how I want to make stuff.
Do you do your own designs, or do you have an in-house person that does all your design work?
So I've got a couple in-house guys that are graphic designers, but everything they do comes from like a concept or a sketch or something that I provide.
Oh, okay. Damn, dude.
So it's very rarely just hey, I need 4 things.
Right.
Like, that doesn't happen.
Right.
It's always like, hey, I'd like this. This is the vibe. Here's some options. Here's what I think the graphic should look like. And then I have to have a real person actually
make
it, because I'm terribly, terribly inefficient at Photoshop and Illustrator.
Damn, man, you guys pump out some designs and some, the some merch and everything.
Yeah, we try to keep it up, man. I think we can put out both quality stuff and quantity
For
stuff.
Sure.
I like being able to come up with new stuff. I like the way to change it up. I like trying to get a new message out and just do the limited issue stuff, and that's what it's been from jump.
Yeah, man. The new like 80 synth wave, whatever you want, colors. I love those new designs you just dropped.
Dude, those are super, super fun. That whole vibe has been very, very common, I guess, in my palette, in my color palette in my life lately. Like, I've got a bunch of pink lights at the house, and the basement is lit.
I can see it right now behind you.
Yeah. I've got some pink lights in the studio. The basement is lit kind of spaceshipy.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed that. And so the synthwave stuff, especially after watching like Atomic Blonde, and I think that one mostly, but the vibes in that movie, like the lighting, whoever did that just kills it.
Yeah.
Like the apartment or whatever she's staying, whatever Charlize Theron's character is staying at, like that room, whoever created it did a beautiful job. Like, that's a super fun room. I'd like to hang out in.
Yeah, it seems it reminds me all these colors reminds me a little bit of Drive too.
Yep.
I guess that's the same like synth wave.
Same type of synth wavy shit, right?
Yeah.
Drive doesn't have as much as the like the visual synthwave cue. The other movie by that director, the other one with Ryan Gosling, where he just doesn't talk much.
Oh, where he's
it was after Drive.
Thailand?
Yeah, something like that.
The devil, something about the devil.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say David May Cry, but I know that's just a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that
it's not good.
It's not. No, it looks cool. It's not a good movie though.
It visually is very, very appealing, but no, it is not a great film.
He fights that old, or he gets the shit beat out of him by that old guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Are you a big movie guy? I take it.
Yeah. I would say I'm very, very much movies over books.
Yeah.
I like the stories from books. Now I like audiobooks and stuff like that. I just don't particularly like sitting and reading.
I feel that.
Book.
I feel that.
Audiobooks I'll knock out and run through. I've been doing that more and more. But yeah, movies for the most part are what I really enjoy.
Is there is there a movie that recently you've seen that's been like, fuck, this is cool?
I need to rewatch Tenet.
Ooh.
Probably a couple times.
Yeah. I saw it twice.
There's a lot going on with Tenet. Yeah, I think they have it on the Southwest flight, so I'm probably going to end up trying to watch it again tomorrow while we're flying to Miami. Yeah, that one's a lot of fun, man. I just dig that visual kind of. I also really like Christopher Nolan's thing with playing with time. I think time's a really, really interesting concept.
Yeah.
So,
is it the block from Tenet where it's like the palindrome? It's like what Christopher Nolan used as like inspiration, where there's like 6 words that they're palindromes backwards and forwards, and Tenet's like the middle one. You know what I'm talking about?
I wasn't aware of that, but that does make sense.
Yeah.
I also didn't even realize Tenet's a palindrome with the way the film works. That makes a lot more sense now, too. I'm very bummed to miss that.
Backwards and forwards, man.
Yep. Yeah, palindromes are very, very, very cool. I've been trying to design a HVIII brand palindrome to use for a logo. They're fucking tricky.
Yeah. I don't think HVIII brand is a palindrome. I guess
not HVIII brand is a palindrome, but palindrome's not the right word. Where I'm able to flip it over and it still reads the same word.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, not palindrome. I was thinking palindrome could be used to define both of those things, but that's not true.
That'd be fucking cool. I like the hoodie you're wearing now.
Yeah, this is new. This will come out in, I don't know, a month or so. Fuck yes or no.
I love it, man. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, I did kind of this cotton candy, getting into spring, so we have some
yeah, man.
Fun colored stuff.
Man, you're ready for Miami, dude.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. I like Miami, man. Well, I like Steffi and Hayden. I really like hanging out with them.
Okay.
They're super, super rad. And their Miami is also super rad.
Steffi Cohen and Hayden.
Yeah.
What's Bo? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I was watching some of her video, well, I guess both their videos on YouTube earlier today, just like on squat techniques. And I'm like, fuck, I am so dumb. You know what I'm saying?
They're super smart, man.
Right.
They're really sharp and just really able to put it out there. Just really good at conveying that information and sharing those messages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just trying to move the weight up and move it down, and
yeah, it's still pretty simple. I mean, look, it depends on what your goals are, right?
That's true.
If your goals aren't to be, a power lifter and have a total and know what your maxes are, then I think
you're right.
Some of the things aren't nearly as important.
That's true.
But if you have an interest in lifting more weight, knowing some ways to brace and do it safely are also pretty cool.
That's true. Yeah. 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 I've been following Christy Sine's. She's got her programming Team Creams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been following that. I know.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. I had her on the other week, and yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I very, very much enjoy hanging out with her.
Yeah. She seems like a really cool person to be around.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but her programming kind of got me back into weightlifting. I was gone for a little while, I didn't feel it for the longest time. And then I just saw she was doing programming on her Instagram. And I was like, I'll fucking try it out. And so getting back into it, man.
Right on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always got to be a time to get back into it. That's for damn sure. Like, I'm excited now because I'm kind of starting to actually train for a thing. Like, I'm putting together a program and going to be training for the next 15 weeks for this, the 18-mile trail run in Bryce Canyon.
Shit.
And it's going to be a challenge. So it's 18 miles. It should, there's a cutoff time of 7 hours, and it'll be about 3,700 feet of elevation.
Damn, dude.
So it's going to be a day. Meanwhile, I mean, I'm doing it with two other savages. Dan Holgan is going to do 100 miles, and then Rob Bailey is going to do a 50.
Fucking ultra marathon type shit.
They're tough bastards, man. My knee and hip ain't going to cut it.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, I know you're saying your knee and hip.
We'll see how the 18 goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how the 18 goes. I think I could do some longer endurance stuff, but it's going to have to be on the bike.
Right. Yeah. So what?
Which is cool too, because then you cover more ground.
That's true, and you go faster. The wind is cutting through. Yeah.
Dude, mountain biking is so much more fun than hiking. It's faster hiking.
Right. Yeah. I was listening to Dorian Yates on something. It might have been Joe Rogan or something, and he was talking about how he doesn't train with weight anymore. He just does cycling.
Yeah, he's just cycling.
Yeah. I was like, fuck. Well, okay.
Yeah, he's done enough. He's lifted enough weights. He's
yeah, dude.
Good to go.
Fuck, man. Yeah. So, are you looking to get more into endurance competitions, or is this just
not really
a fun?
It's a one-off thing. I'm more interested in adventure.
Yes.
And I think some of the adventures I'd like to go on are going to require a pretty decent sized gas tank.
Yeah.
So I may as well find ways to test that and have fun. I mean, the adventure I'd like to do is 18 miles in Bryce Canyon.
Right.
And so I'd like to be in pretty decent shape to go do that adventure.
Right.
I don't know what the next adventure is, but I mean, I'd like to go do a century bike ride. I want to do 100 miles in a day.
Damn.
It's about the same amount of time. It'll take 6 or 7 hours.
Okay.
I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
I think I'm capable. I just haven't.
Yeah.
And so I'm not interested in thinking I'm capable anymore.
Yeah.
I would like to find out.
Oof. Damn.
And pass or fail, so if I go do this 18-mile thing, and let's just say my body shits the bed and it's like, yeah, we're done walking at mile 16.
Yeah.
Well, then I know how far my body will walk. I have a number.
Yeah.
I can either figure out how to improve it, or I just know that's as far as we get to go.
Right.
And I mean, at least that takes away one more mystery of my life, eh?
That's true, man.
How far can you walk? I know how far.
We figured it out.
You know, that's like Dan. I mean, Dan didn't finish the 100 miles he set out for, but he did like 72 and change.
Shit. Yeah.
And
that's a lot.
You know, he ran for 20 straight hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't have any reference of doing anything for that long, much less a thing I don't enjoy.
Right.
I've driven that long. That's it.
Yeah. I feel that. I've driven that long. I've been on a plane for like 8 hours once.
Yeah, I've done. I think my longest flight I've ever done is like 11. France was a pretty decent flight.
Yeah, I flew to England last year before.
Oh, nice. I like the UK.
It's cool, man. A lot of cool people there.
Yeah.
So you did you're doing the Scottish Games, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What is the craziest place you've competed in before? A place where you've been like, man, this is fucking weird that I'm here competing.
There's a couple.
Okay.
Iceland always felt that way.
Yeah.
Like anytime I was in Iceland and actually competing felt really very interesting.
Yeah.
Just kind of a, fuck am I doing in Iceland? Like I'm an idiot from Louisiana. The other one was in France, and we threw in this town called Brescia at Bressuire, and it's we threw like on the ground of this like 11th century castle.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool day.
Pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely been plenty of moments in my life where I wonder how the fuck I ended up there, but like those two have been pretty rad.
Yeah, yeah. Because like in America, what's the oldest like place you can go to? You can't go to a 12th century fucking church, No,
they don't exist.
Right, they don't exist.
Everything here's 250 years old.
Right, yeah. That's so like,
at the most. Right.
And so like, yeah, going through London and going to like a church that was like, this is from 1530, like, fuck, I have no reference for this.
Right.
Yeah.
No clue.
Right.
I mean, we're still on our first draft of this whole America thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What I saw you post that picture of you throwing the fake fish.
Yeah.
That's
one of the events up in Alaska.
Okay. Is that the strangest thing that you've thrown as in competition?
Thrown that. I've thrown haggis. I've thrown.
How heavy is
a
haggis?
welly? Not very.
Okay. So
it was like the halftime of one of the games, not halftime, but whatever, intermission of one of the games, and
right.
They had a haggis hurl, and like typically the little kids from the stands come up and do it.
Yeah.
And I decided to beat them. I didn't have anything better to do that day.
Yeah.
I think I also got free food because of it. So take that.
Fuck yeah.
Haggis hurl. I threw a boot, like a Wellington, like a rubber boot in England, like a welly.
Okay.
Threw one of those for distance. Oh, I've thrown a keg.
Yeah.
For both height and distance. I've thrown a lot of shit. I've thrown a watermelon, cantaloupe.
How far did you throw the watermelon?
I didn't measure it.
Mm.
They exploded a long way away from me. It was very entertaining, though.
Right.
It was like one of those good, like almost dunk ball sized
yeah.
watermelons. You could really just sling it like a discus.
Right.
Pretty good times.
Yeah. Wow, man. Are you into professional wrestling at all?
No,
Okay.
I would say not in any way. I'm not anti
Right.
professional wrestling in any way, but I wouldn't say that I'm terribly into it. Like I'm not following anything or storylines or any type of stuff like that.
Yeah.
However, I'm entertained by fuckery and wild things, and that happens in droves in that arena.
Yeah, it's theater. It's physical competition and theater combined.
Well, it's not competition.
Well,
it's
physicality and theater.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible. The athletes that do it are bonkers to me
Right.
at what they're able to pull off. I mean, Andy and Jesse both love those dudes. I got to hang out with Andy for a week when I was up there, so I think it was about that amount of time. And like, got to go watch him like go to wrestling practice, and then we went with like the boys, the Buffalo Brothers, up to Toronto. They had a show, and so we went up there and like watched them do their gig, and it's entertaining, man. And like the indie wrestling scene is very entertaining.
It's crazy.
Like, that's a very interesting world.
It reminds me a lot of the punk rock like lifestyle, like being in a punk rock band. It's very similar to like, you don't know if you're gonna get paid,
Right.
and you're busting your ass.
It seems very similar. It seems very similar. It didn't seem terribly different than the years I spent working for my buddy's band.
Right.
I was like, oh, this makes sense. And then like, when I got to see him train for it, like, the place that they get together in Buffalo, and then they've got a ring and stuff like that. Like, it's not any stupider than what I did with a kilt throwing rocks in a field. So, I mean, whatever makes you happy, man.
Yeah. Wow.
We have more avenues for people to do cool shit that's not sitting on their ass and complain.
That's true. Yeah. Fuck, dude. Yeah. People.
Anything's better than that.
Yeah. Your YouTube channel, that makes me think of your YouTube channel of you're constantly doing stuff and putting out content.
Trying.
Yeah.
It's been trying to just be consistent at it, man.
Yeah.
Just keep putting stuff out for way longer than I probably realize it at this point.
Right. It's
because that's been around a lot longer than HVIII Brand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I was looking at it earlier today, and just going through. Is there, when you're putting that much content out, is there anything like in your life where you're like, where you feel like this is a content moment, but I shouldn't be making this content?
Oh, there's tons of that. I very rarely, and I'm not carrying around a camera per se all the time anymore. Because there was a long time where I did, but I always had that gut feeling of like, now this isn't work.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I wanted to share my experience of traveling and all the cool shit I did to do. But at the same point, like, I was doing those things for me, like, because I wanted to meet these people and I wanted to hang out and I wanted to learn from them. And if the camera ever felt like it was going to inhibit my ability to do that, it goes away first.
Oh, yeah.
I was never willing to share that instead of have the personal moment.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the really rad stuff's for me.
That's cool.
I like that, I wasn't planning on sharing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather the relationship than the fans.
Oof. That's great. Man. Yeah. And that's another thing. Another thing that it reminds me of talking to Christy, saying that her, whatever image that is being put out there on her Instagram, it feels like it's her, like there's a personal, it doesn't feel like it's like,
it feels genuine. It doesn't feel like it's a work, right? It's not a gimmick.
Okay, yeah. And that's the vibe I also get from you and the content you're putting out.
I try, man. I appreciate that. Like, I don't have a good enough memory to be a liar. And so this like create a character thing and try to run that story all the time is not going to work for me.
Right.
So I kind of just do my thing, and I allow that to kind of go with whatever ebbs and flows of life and whatever I'm interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
the same stuff's always grounding. No matter what, I've always consistently trained through all the stuff. I've always continued lifting. I kept everything in line with my, health and stuff like that through the knee surgeries. And I didn't falter, man. I didn't gain a bunch of weight. I didn't miss steps on any of that. I held the line of the stuff I can control. And I just wanted to show people that you can.
Yeah.
You can fucking control it, man. You can be at the wheel and not just have to feel this loss in a sea of existence that, the winds blow you around instead of, you getting your sail ready to take advantage of it.
Right. Shit, man. Yeah. I listened to the UMSO with Bonnie, and man, whoo, that was real.
Yeah.
But that's the same attitude that you're saying right now of like, and she also iterated and reiterated in that episode of like, take control, and don't react, man.
Well, just why would you hand the keys to your emotions over to whatever that fucking thing is?
Right.
Like, why don't you just gather the data and then make a decision?
Yeah.
Chances are if the data pisses you off, then that should be your decision and answer is to just get the fuck away from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Man. Yeah, we've done about 45 minutes here, man.
Oh, right on.
I appreciate your time. I did get a question to ask you on the Instagram. And this is not a joke.
All right.
I did get asked, does pee go in the balls?
I don't believe it does. I don't think that's where it hangs out.
Yeah.
I think pee goes in the bladder, but I'm also not a doctor.
It's true.
I think you could put pee into someone else's balls if you had the right tools.
Yeah.
I also don't think that's how you would say fake it to pass a drug test. You wouldn't want to just try to fill your balls up with someone else's pee. So scratch that one off your list if that's your plan of attack.
Damn, dude. Yeah. Somebody did send that. I wasn't doing a bit right there.
No worries, man.
Yeah. But shit, man. Yeah. Do you have any like I feel like we covered so much ground with stuff on this podcast. Do you have any closing words of wisdom or anything for the people?
Closing words of wisdom. Let me think. So, at this point in my life, I really don't believe anything's impossible. And I think that's important for people to hear. I've been really fortunate to get to spend some time with some real high-powered mutants, man. And the one thing that's consistent across all those people that I hear and I learn is, and nothing's impossible. Like, you can do it. Like, it's just a matter of steps that you've got to figure out the steps.
No.
Now, you're not entitled to any of it. Like, none of it's going to find you. The universe is completely indifferent to your success, your happiness, your sadness, or whatever. It doesn't give a shit. However, there is a frequency to find. Now, whether or not you choose to listen to your frequency that's playing, that's up to you. But man, finding that rhythm and figuring it out and listening to, kind of some guidance the universe has for you seems to line things up. It seems to make things a little bit less of a fight for me.
Wow.
And, that's pretty simple as that. Trusting my gut of is it a fuck yes or a no?
Yeah. Shit. The hoodie.
Yep.
Fuck yes, fuck
We've
no.
used it we just haven't ever wrote fuck on a shirt. So
yeah, that's fucking great. Wow.
I'm at a point in my life where I don't mind it now.
Whereas
before I didn't want to wear it.
Yeah. Love it, man. Stay on for a second, but this is the I have a closing thing where I say, Matt, you had options, but you decided to talk to me, and I appreciate it.
No worries.